This scene was built by Gen X and early millennials. Decades later, many of them are back on the dance floor, or just never left it. Eventbrite data suggests over 3 million people aged 45 and above go clubbing weekly. Nostalgia is now a zone subculture. Do you know what an Evergroover is?
No, not familiar with it.
No.
An Evergroover is a term for people over the age of usually 40 who still participates in raving, clubbing, and a nightlife scene. We speak to Simon, who goes by Cyber Simon, a final DJ who's been in the scene for over 30 years. We look at the Evergroover culture, how the rave scene has changed since Simon's time, and how the younger generation sees the cross-generation nightlife. We also speak to Patrick, known as DJ Patty, who has 1 year of professional DJ experience.
I'm Simon Potter. My name's DJ named Cyber Simon. I've been DJing involved in the party scene for over 30 years now.
My name is Patrick Jean-Marie. I also go by the name Patty. Been DJing for about a year now.
I am 52. I also used to work in the music industry as in the distribution side, dance music industry for 6 years. I used to work in Camden, record shop back then called Dragon Discs. I think for me the reason why I still rave is like pretty much all my friends, and nearly 95% of my friends are involved in it in some shape or form. Not just as punters, like it's been like a big family. When I was younger and I used to rave, I went to different parties. I went to 2 different things. I went to illegal raves, which are like warehouse parties, and then I went to clubs. But the clubs were still like not so commercial like they are now. They were still smaller clubs, 200, 300 people, locally run, still quite underground feel to them. There still were big festivals and big events going on, and the party lifestyle when I was younger, we didn't like clubs so much. We didn't like things that were like run by security and had like, you know, you couldn't be free, you couldn't be yourself. Yeah, I went to a lot of these illegal raves, they were called, squat parties.
I think setting up like an actual event in a proper venue is quite hard nowadays. Especially like back in the day, you could just, you know, set up a sound system outside and just dance. If you do that nowadays, you're probably going to get it shut down very quickly. Give it like a couple hours. You have too much noise, you're going to get noise complaints.
You know, I'll go through a little explanation of how that used to work, because that was pre-days of social media or technology. We didn't even have mobile phones, so the parties got promoted word in mouth. People designed their own flyers on bits of paper, going record shopping on the weekends. There'd be flyers left down on the desk there, you know, and then you just pick up things. There'd be some glossy flyers for like more bigger events. There'd also be potentially like handwritten flyers with a phone number on. And the phone number would run and it would have an answer phone message on it, and that would say the address. Finding the places was quite interesting back then. I think it was just like you had so much determination to find the party that you managed to find it. And in this day and age, I don't know if anyone would be able to cope, because basically you got the postcode, then you've got your A to Z. It's a little book, you've got a mini one or a full-size one, and then you've got all the postcodes on the back. Then you have to like look through the map, and then in pencil is to circle the road. Call my mate, it's like, where the hell is like this place in Essex? You know, it's in the middle of nowhere. I remember sometimes finding myself down a dual carriageway, like on the outskirts of Barking or Essex or somewhere, thinking, what the hell am I doing? There's never going to be a party here. Almost giving up, and then remember just hearing the like in the background, I'm like, I can hear like dum dum dum, I can hear the beats, you know. For us, it used to just spill out into Sunday and carry on. Especially the warehouse raves, they just kept going until you were like gone mad, you know, 18 hours in. For me now, it's like come 6 a.m, I'm ready to go home to bed, you know. The raves of the past, like the warehouse parties, don't really go on anymore.
I think people aren't going out and taking risk anymore with raves, because with social media, you can see past events and all of that. It can be a blessing and a curse at the same time, because it means you can promote a lot better. But at the same time, it also means that you've got a lot more eyes on what you're doing. So I guess the community is growing, but it could lose that nicheness a little bit.
I'm not such a fan of, that's another thing, having the phones out at events. Like, I think that's important, just enjoy the moment and not, you know, I guess that's the difference with the generation now.
Alicia thinks phone technology in this case has hindered the experience.
There was no such thing as like videoing each other. You can see like none of them go on their phones. They're not trying to take pictures of other people doing things.
Luca is a 22-year-old student who often goes out with his dad.
I do go out with my dad quite often, actually. I mean, my dad's my best friend in the world. To other people, it can seem a bit strange, you know, going out clubbing with your father, but There's a club that he goes to that is friends with the manager there, and he was like, do you want to come there with me? And we went, and then that's how we kind of started. Once every 2 weeks we do like to. I guess, you can't compare the bond I have with him. I mean, yes, it's my dad, but also probably the closest person I'm with, the kind of conversations that we might have, and just the energy, when we're together.
Yeah, it probably is a bit odd to some people that there are these Generation X ravers in their 50s, 40s and 50s that are still going out. I think people have become a bit more relaxed, a bit more open about things like sexuality and age, less discrimination.
I feel like with an older crowd, they tend to be less judgmental about kind of what you're doing, what you're wearing. But obviously I'd still want to have some kind of young people, because I don't want to be the only young person like that. I think that would make me uncomfortable in itself. But I think a good mix, would be perfect.
You've got people that you can kind of relate to, and then, you might have conversations with people that are older than you, younger than you, and learn something from them, then surprise yourself a little bit, which is nice. I did gravitate towards a bit of an older crowd, yeah.
Young people who go out seem to enjoy the company of mature ravers. As Simon gets older, he and other Evergroovers appreciate alternative rave options that may not appeal as much to younger people.
Probably my favourite club, and it's especially the best event, is actually on a Sunday. They do every other Sunday, and it's called Unfold, and that's a club called Fold. And they've got their own medical team there. Not all the clubs listen to what the people want and then feed that back and then make changes, but they do. They've got everything from lockers that you buy your locker online before, so you don't have to queue. Yeah, if you're feeling unwell, they let you bring in food. I like the idea of a Sunday party. As I've got older, that a day party is good because people work on a Monday as well. When you're younger, you could have gone till the early hours of Monday morning and gone to work on Monday and felt all right, but now it's like, that is not going to happen. I do like the idea of saying day parties and things like that now. It's a bit more accessible. Everyone's as one there. It's like no one judges you.
There are more and more Asian family-friendly raves across London.
It's quite liberating. It sounds really strange, but there is a rave. I've seen the footage of parents with their, even young kids, it's 4 or 5 toddlers, playing music. Obviously they're toning the music down a little bit, but it's still dance and rave music. And
Femi on the drums, he's part of Ezra Collective, and he does these things called situation dances, which is all age ranges. So he will have events which even kids can go to. He tailors to older people as well.
At 52, Simon has his own way of keeping fit.
Yeah, well, I think dancing as well is super good for you. Being youthful and having a youthful mind makes you look younger as well. You have younger eyes, you have a younger appearance. I think mind over matter. I think that being young, going out, is active as well. Being on your feet, all afternoon, is good. And if you dance, if they're open-minded enough, or if they were ex-ravers, yeah, I guess people have children and things, and then they might forget that. But I think it's like I said, recommend it to try it again. I'm hoping that younger people aren't thinking, oh God, look how old, what are they doing? They're cramping our style or something, But they should be mindful that we helped shape the scene as it is today.
I guess it's nice it being very eclectic, because you've got a bit of everything there. No one feels kind of like an odd one out. No one feels excluded.
For Evergroover raving after 40, it's not about reviews grow up, but carrying a lifelong passion.
The community you shouldn't be narrow-minded, all generations under one roof. I think that's what's important, really.
The rave scene in London has served as a bridge to understanding and building harmony of different age groups. Wilson Sayre, LCC News.